If you're aiming for the ultimate home theater experience, a top-notch AV receiver is crucial. Paired with a multi-channel speaker setup, the best receivers can deliver up to 9 discrete channels of sound, creating an immersive atmosphere with the latest surround formats like Dolby Atmos and DTS. In our tests, the Denon AVR X4800H stood out for its exceptional construction, broad audio support, and impressive calibration system, delivering rich, thrilling sound for movies, though it is on the pricier side. Each receiver we reviewed has been put through its paces, with high-octane movies and music to ensure it serves as a powerful home entertainment hub. Stay tuned to find the perfect AV receiver for your setup and budget. Number 5. Denon AVR X4800H. A sonic tour de force, the X4800H is a home theater amplifier with long-term appeal. The provision of a full board of 8K, 4K, 120 Hz HDMI inputs, and coverage of all the significant home cinema sound formats ensures that this Denon amp will partner any display or source you might acquire for a long time to come. The sound profile is best described as visceral. The soundstage is crisp and detailed, but there is a sense of power and precision as well. Directional panning is totally convincing. While Denon rates onboard power at 9x 125W into 8 ohms, 200W into 6 ohms. It sounds rather more muscular than that. This is a blockbuster amplifier designed for blockbusters, but is also darn good with music, sounding light and agile with 2-channel stereo, and seamlessly immersive with 3D audio mixes. The Denon AVR X4800H is as close to future-proof as you can get with a current home cinema amplifier, offering generous 8K and 4K 120 Hz playback support and compatibility with all the immersive audio formats you're likely to find in the wild. It's the multimedia hub AV fans have been waiting for. There are 2 versions of the Denon X4800H. The AVC X4800H UK-EU iteration, which lacks an FM tuner, and the AVR X4800H with FM tuner for the American market. In all other respects, they're the same beast. Whether you're a die-hard movie fan or a next-gen gamer, both Denon versions have you covered with support for all flavors of HDR, as well as VRR, variable refresh rate, QFT, quick frame transport, and ALLM for games console. Number 4. Denon AVR X2700H. Denon's AVR X2700H provides an affordable jumping-on point for the brand's 2021 X-Series AV receivers. The price tag hints at budget components, but in a smaller viewing room, rather than a cavernous theater, it defies expectations. In our listening tests, it gave a punchy delivery and has no problem with action-orientated soundtracks. Plus, it's nuanced enough to portray subtle ambiance too. Power output is rated at 150W for multi-channel, which is generous and it'll support a 5.1.2 channel configuration or conventional 7.1 surround, depending on how you've set up your loudspeakers. There's also 8K support, albeit via a single HDMI 2.1 input. Number 3. Onkyo TX NR7100. The TX NR7100 is perfectly suited to movie and gaming fans alike. It has strong connectivity for hooking up ultra-high-res or fast frame rate sources. All 6 HDMI inputs offer 8K and 4K 120Hz playback support. It boasts 100W per channel amplification and can be configured for up to 7.1.2 or 5.1.4 Dolby Atmos loudspeakers. There's also DTS-X compatibility, plus IMAX Enhanced certification and THX post-processing. Installation is aided by a step-by-step on-screen guide. It's similar to what we've seen on the Denon AVR X4800H and Marantz Cinema 50 AV receivers, albeit without the polish. There are 2 options when it comes to room EQ: Onkyo's own AccuEQ system and Dirac Live room correction. Both deliver excellent results, but Dirac Live was our reviewer's preference. THX is a feature that has fallen from favor when it comes to home theater, but it still has value when it comes to upmixing. It brought a huge improvement in staging and storytelling to sci-fi-based TV dramas, as the THX processing adds scale and extra ambience to on-screen drama. The AVR also handles complex sound sequences, well with satisfying placement of objects and pans from stage left to right. It can sound ominous and heavy with deep rumbles rolling across the sound field with thunderous LFE. Low-frequency effects you can almost feel. Stereo music is less effective, and there are better AV receivers with audiophile sensibilities. But when it comes to value, features, and overall performance for home theaters, the TX-NR1000 can deliver. Number 2. Marantz Cinema 50. The Marantz Cinema 50 is one of the most future-proof home theater amps we've seen. The connectivity on offer is truly impressive with 8K and 4K over 120 Hz support, 6 HDMI inputs plus 3 outputs, and an impressive auto-calibration system. Format support is extensive with Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, and Auro 3D capable, as well as Sony's 360 Reality Audio. It's also IMAX Enhanced certified, which could come into its own when Disney Plus starts streaming IMAX audio mixes. If you're looking for an AV amp that can deliver massive dynamics, with a whip crack, fast transients, and a fearsome bass extension, the Cinema 50 doesn't disappoint. It's a tremendously exciting listen and steers gunfire shootouts beautifully. With effortless panning, and even at high volume, there's no hint of strain. It does music well too. Marantz' lauded HDAM amplification circuitry is warm and melodious. In 2-channel mode, we'd say the Cinema 50 is comparable to a high-quality mid-range stereo amp, and with strong format support is as future-proof as they come right now. Number 1. Sony STR-AN1000. The STR-AN1000 is a 7.2 TH AV receiver, which is not only Dolby Atmos and DTS:X enabled, but it supports native 360 Reality Audio, and also boasts 360 spatial sound mapping. The latter is particularly interesting and effectively provides virtual speakers to fill in the gaps. It applies psychoacoustic processing to subjectively move actual speakers into more immersive virtual positions. It can be applied to stereo sources to create a surprisingly convincing multi-channel effect, and overlaid on native immersive audio formats like Dolby Atmos to virtually enhance the soundstage. Sony quotes a power output of 2x 120W into 6 ohms, or roughly 85W per channel. It's not a volume monster, but will suffice in a typically living room or studio apartment. It's an exciting listen, with smooth sonic steerage of objects and real sense of drama. It sounds bigger than its power specification implies, and handles blockbusters with authority. Just take care with the setup. The STR-AN1000 is a 7.2 TH AV receiver, which is not only Dolby Atmos and DTS:X enabled, but it supports native 360 Reality Audio, and also boasts 360 spatial sound mapping. The latter is particularly interesting as it can be applied to stereo sources to create a surprisingly convincing multi-channel effect, and overlaid on native immersive audio formats like Dolby Atmos to virtually enhance the soundstage. This new Sony also supports DSD, Direct Stream Digital Native Music Playback, and has 4K 120Hz and 8K HDMI pass-through, although read on for caveats.